In case you need a refresher on this story, at the beginning of this month, it was reported in the Daily Mail that there was a bitter feud between Millie Bobby Brown and her co-star on Stranger Things, David Harbour, who also just so happened to be in the middle of an extremely messy, extremely public divorce from Lily Allen that released this album that makes him look like just a disgusting sex freak gooner. So that's totally unrelated, but possibly there are sources giving negative information about David Harbour to disreputable outlets like Daily Mail in order to damage his reputation in regard to the Stranger Things scandal. Now, it was not very specific, but it was reported that Millie Bobby Brown reported him internally at Netflix for bullying and harassment. They didn't get into any of the claims, but there were allegedly pages and pages of accusations that she leveled at him. There was an internal investigation, and then ultimately now we found out that actually did happen, and it was resolved.
Do you remember the story? It was like 2 months ago where Cameron Diaz said she came back to work 'cause she hadn't acted in like 15 years and was surprised when found out that Netflix had like an internal system for reporting bad actor, like people that are misbehaving.
Yeah, I guess there wasn't as much of an HR culture in any industry 15 years ago, but
like with
that's
the
taken
intimacy
over.
coordinators, that's all new too, right?
Yes.
Intimacy coordinators and just HR liability protections in general for all of these studios, Netflix included. So it was actually true that Millie Bobby complained against David Harbour to their higher ups, and they launched this investigation prior to the beginning of their finale season production at the beginning of 2024. But now we found out they resolved it prior to the beginning of production. And when this rumor leaked, Netflix probably thought, like, how are we going to damage control for this? Like, how do we counter this narrative, make everyone think that everything is okay and everyone's chummy? And when we saw the videos of them at the premiere, like laughing together, embracing, acting a little bit too friendly, everyone thought, yeah, this is the doing of Netflix. That has now been confirmed by a report from Variety over the weekend.
I put the article in the chat if anybody wants to follow along.
David Harbour is not having a good month, they say. And attendees at the LA premiere event on November 6th for the final season of Stranger Things might not have noticed. He was all smiles on the red carpet, particularly as he playfully hugged Millie Bobby Brown and they took selfies with fans.
Here's that video if anybody wants to.
This was one of those many videos of them hugging each other and playing around and joking with each other. We have no idea like what he was saying to her on the red carpet, obviously, but she was
make it big, make it
belly
big,
laughing at everything he said.
Go for it, go for it, go for it. It was like a director was in their ear saying like, you gotta look like you guys really love being in the same room together.
They arrived at the event together and traded compliments to each other in interviews on the red carpet, just like absolutely over the top complimentary of each other. And if the two seemed overly chummy, perhaps that was the point. The premiere event came just days after the Daily Mail report that Brown filed a complaint of bullying and harassment against Harbour prior to season 5 production. The news of her complaint against David Harbour has threatened to overshadow coverage of the final season, but insiders say that even before the news, Harbour wasn't expected to take part in press junkets for the show due to his busy filming schedule. So there was an erroneous report that David Harbour was ousted from all of their interviews that they were going to do on the press tour. That wasn't actually true. He was never supposed to be part of them in the first place. PR experts suggested to Variety that the red carpet choreography, as well as the full cast appearance together on stage at the TCL Chinese Theater prior to screening episode 1, was meant to send a message that the cast is united and the show is bigger than any one person. The goal in these situations is to make it no worse. And they didn't explicitly deny the report about the investigation because it's obviously true. We know that now. But people thought that that spoke more volumes. Instead, Netflix leaned into the imagery of David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown being playful on the carpet, posting a video as the two greeted fans. Her fashion brand, she actually has a fashion brand called Florence by Mills, actually liked the video on Instagram and commented a heart emoji. Many of the fan comments on the post suggested that they thought the reports of drama between the two was much ado about nothing, and they said it was just Daily Mail reporting fake news, right? Which I guess they're a little bit notorious for doing. Photos taken inside the party also show the two being very chummy. Sources with knowledge of the situation have confirmed now to Variety that there was an investigation into the complaint from Millie Bobby Brown and that it was resolved. As father and daughter on the show, as well as comrades in arms, Brown and Harbour share multiple scenes in season 5. Representatives for the both of them have not responded to requests for comment.
Nor would they. I wouldn't have
smart
expected
decision
them to,
on their part. And then they had comments from both of the Duffer brothers on the red carpet, as well as executive producer Sean Levy, not explicitly denying the report from Daily Mail, but referencing it, saying it's possibly inaccurate. And the Daily Mail report was sourced by a friend of Lily Allen, which makes it seem like perhaps there was a leaker that just wanted to smear him due to their ongoing divorce proceedings.
I love that they wrote the name of the song in the article from Variety. Somebody has to type that out.
P-Word Palace. Yeah, that was one of the songs on her new album, West End Girl, which goes into extensive detail about Harbour's alleged infidelity, including his hundreds of Trojans and butt plugs that he buys from CVS with his full government name.
I still believe that, like, from what I've seen, there's still a decent amount of hype around Stranger Things season 5. It's confounding to me. Yes.
Like, there's a dedicated fan base,
there is,
but it's gotten smaller and smaller over time from what I can tell.
And I don't see anything of this story being anything to stop it in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, they should have just left the drama going.
Yeah.
That might have brought more
Maybe
more
play
people to watch
into it,
it.
like have them give each other dirty looks at the premiere instead of the over-the-top friendliness that they displayed.
Now people want to go watch a show and be like, oh, can I see what's going on, like, between them?
At what point in the show did she actually file the complaint against him?
But we had to clarify because last week, I believe on Friday, we talked about the premiere and all the videos that Netflix was posting of the two of them and said, like, maybe Daily Mail lied.
But I mean,
we thought it was possible,
but also
certainly.
like this could have happened anywhere around the time that this show went into production for season 5, which was in like the beginning of 2024. So this could be water deep under the bridge for both of them. They've moved on since then.
But this is like a perfect example of, you know, cross-generational disputes in the workplace that goes beyond just the entertainment industry. Like recently we were just talking about how Gen Z rates Gen Z as the most annoying generation to work with. They like hate themselves and know that they're annoying to work with.
Yeah.
And the baby boomers actually ranked second, according to Gen Z, as most annoying to work with. Like, they actually recognize their own faults. And perhaps Millie Bobby Brown just didn't take kindly to some of David Harbour's off-color jokes.
Is he baby boomer or Gen X?
He's a Gen Xer, actually.
He has to be, yeah. He's not that old.
The Gen Xers always get ignored in those polls and surveys because they're like the lost generation. Like, nobody thinks or talks about them.
He's just out there having a good time.
He's been acting forever. He was in he played the annoying CIA guy in Quantum of Solace because he had the same mustache in there. Not
but
Felix
I stand
Leiter.
by what I said. He just looks sinister.
Yeah.
There's something about his face, the way he looks at people. He gives me Ryan Reynolds vibes. Like, I don't
think
like
he looks sinister. I think he looks exactly like what he is, a successful
don't
Hollywood
backtrack
douche.
now.
Successful Hollywood
You agreed
douche.
with me at the time. You did say you agree that his face is just like...
Okay, let me rephrase. There is an air of like anger. I don't know if that's sinister though, because angry people aren't necessarily like evil, but he looks like he has to constantly control his anger.
By the way, guys, this is my new Hello Kitty cup that I'm going to be drinking out of.
You retired the old Stanley.
I retired the Stanley. This is a Hello Kitty cup that Brett gave me, actually.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Is that like Christmas
Adorable.
last year?
I believe so.
Better than you re-gifting it and somebody else here showing up with it. Like that would have been funny. Tim's drinking out of like a Hello Kitty.
It's like a secret Santa gift.
I would not re-gift this.
There's a
we have
20 there from Rural Conservative.
I said I would keep you updated. I got the combine back from the mechanic Friday evening. Bill came to 2015-43 about what I expected. So glad to have that behind me. We're glad for you.
Does that get written off on your taxes? You should be able to write that off on your taxes as work equipment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope the
Wishing
harvest
you all
went
luck
well
with your harvest. Yes.
Yep. I'm kind of with Alex on this one. It's such a refreshing story to have it not be them being creepy creeps, that maybe just let the drama build.
I think as long as there's no allegation of sexual
Yes.
misconduct, you
Let
can
it
kind
go.
of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, and
regard to
he
the
was
PR.
being very handsy. Like, they were all handsy. So it's like it plays in more to, like, whatever
But
the
it's like,
problem was.
because everyone on the show is family. Like, I don't like that type of PR that's like the coworkers pretending that it's a family.
Yeah.
Like, nobody actually feels that way. I'm sure all of these actors are desperate to put this show behind them finally.
I mean, network television is different because they work. I mean, it's probably different for these guys because their series are done in limited runs and they have like 9,000 years between seasons.
Right.
But like on network television, they're filming 9 to 10 months out of the year,
I think
and they're
actors-
together 18 hours a day.
No, I think actors are really like that. They're
Some
like
of
they're
them.
like, oh, we're family, we're friends forever. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And but on the red carpet, they
There
have to
was-
button it up a little bit.
There was like an interview with Finn Wolfhard where he was asked about how he felt about the end of the show, and he said like, yeah, I was in the car with like some of my castmates, I just started crying because it's just such an emotional thing. And then he said Sadie Sink, another one of the kids on the cast, they're not kids anymore but was a kid on the cast, she turned to him and was like, give it a day, you'll be fine.
yeah,
Like, she just doesn't care at all.
they'll move on to the next family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of them maybe are more anxious to get this thing over with
Like,
than
can we
others.
just time to move on?
Well, also
Yeah.
because they were so young, right? You said it was 5 years between seasons. Is that
I mean,
right?
not necessarily
Many
between-
years,
I mean, the
so.
show started in what year?
2015.
And it's been 10 years
Yeah.
to do
So,
5 seasons.
This is
So-
kind of like their version of graduating from high school or college.
Yeah, but but on network TV, they're together for 10 months out of the year, 9 to 10 months out of the year, and they work 17 or 18 hours a day. Obviously, you're going to develop a closer relationship with some of them than perhaps even your own family, because you're just spending an inordinate amount of time together on set.
Maybe this was all a distraction campaign from Noah Schnapp being a Zionist.
That's what it is.
And the calls for disavowal from the
Yeah.
rest of the cast.
That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to save him.
I didn't see any photos, interviews, or videos of him, actually,
No.
now that I think about it.
No.
Which is interesting because he was always actually the protagonist of the show. At least it was planned out that way.
Yeah,
that
but-
Will Byers was the star of the show.
But all of the men in the show, Finn is the one that's, I guess, the
Right.
most successful.
yeah, he's like going on to
Yeah.
A24.
Yeah.
I guess that's his vibe.
But he just plays Finn Wolfhard and everything.
And Millie Bobby Brown's vibe is like just whatever Netflix slop is coming out.
That's why I love
every
her,
year.
because she's like, I don't care. She's the opposite of Sydney Sweeney. She's
Well,
like, I'll take
kinda.
whatever you can give me.
She is kind of a big star, but she doesn't really get a lot of roles, does she? Like Millie Bobby.
Well, she gets a lot of roles, but not
Like
in
big-
movies that get released to theaters. She's
Yeah.
in streaming movies
I think
that
she's
nobody
just
cares
like,
about.
I'll take Enola Holmes 5 and I'll do
Yeah.
The Electric State and I'll
doesn't
stay at
care
home
at
with my
all.
husband. That's
Yeah.
fine with me. And then I love that because then the film nerds are like, duh, 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 duh,
No,
duh.
like Winona Ryder was throwing major shade at her for not being a
Yeah.
film buff, which is so lame.
Which is like, if I was her, then I would have taken an even bigger piece of slop. If Winona Ryder was like, you gotta be like Jenna Ortega and watch every movie from French cinema in the '60s. She's like, yeah, I just want to make money.
Is Winona Ryder still awkward on red carpets?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, but that's just her. Like,
Yeah.
it's considered charming.
There
coming
was
from
the
her.
red carpet with like her and Jenna Ortega.
Everyone remembers that one,
The pizza.
like whatever that award show was that they were at. The whole Stranger Things cast went up on stage, and whoever was speaking at the moment like mentioned like, I feel like there was some sort of mass tragic event that was referenced in the speech, and then Winona Ryder like went from smiling and being like, yeah, to being like, oh yeah,
Yeah, like, all
we're
weird.
really sad about that.
That was her job to do
she
that.
just
at
looked
that
like
moment.
she was on one.
It happens, you don't want to. It's like when WWE announced that Osama bin Laden had been killed on live television.
That happened? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, there was just this article the other day about like how The Rock got the information before it was released to the public, so he was like the one to announce it because like
Damn.
he was like, I'm going to announce it at this time because by that time Barack Obama was supposed to have given his speech, but I guess that got delayed. He's like, whoops.
Well, I guess it was good news. Yeah. So
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.